3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, Meadowbrook, and welcome to the Meadowbrook Minute in our annual Buddy Dance Party Assembly. Live from our Film and Broadcast Media Studio, I'm Samantha.
And I'm Camille. We are so excited to be taking over from last trimester's amazing 8th grade crew. We've got some great shows planned throughout the winter.
Now let's get to it. Last month, Lauren Tarshis, the author of popular book series I Survived, came to talk to our lower school students about her new book, I Survived the Dust Bowl, and her experience as an author. Here's Guyan with the story.
One picture, she'll sort of give the artist ideas, and there maybe should be a close-up of the...
On Tuesday, November 18th, author Lauren Tarshis visited Meadowbrook to share with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders about her I Survived graphic novel series and her journey to become a writer.
What inspired me to write the I Survived series, I think, was mostly one of my sons who didn't like to read. And I remember asking him when he was about 11 what kind of book might fascinate him. And he was pretty specific. He said, a book about a really cool topic, that's what he said, with a lot of suspense and with a main character that was a kid like him. So in some ways that, I think, really was what planted the seed for I Survived.
Every war graphic novel, the first draft was so...
The research that Tarshis needs to go through for writing one of her books requires lots of other book reading and interviewing.
So for every book, I'll maybe read, 20 or more books, any articles I can find. If it's a historical topic, I'm going to interview scientists. If it's a story about tornadoes or hurricanes, I'll interview historians. And then I travel to all the places that I write about. So the research is a huge part of the process of writing the books.
A lot of scientists come here to study snakes. It's actually quite difficult for them to find them.
And how long does it take to create one of her books?
Well, all the books take the same amount of time because I only have a year. Pretty much right when I finish one, I kind of have to start researching the next one.
Tarshis reflected the challenge she faced while starting her career.
I spent 12 years, I wrote 3 terrible books. So bad that if I read you even a paragraph in any of them, you'd learn.
Tarshis left students with advice about trying and not being afraid to fail as they create.
Well, I think that maybe some of you already feel inspired and are already writing and already feel really confident. That's amazing. My main advice would be that not to be afraid of failing, not being afraid of writing something that doesn't work. Writing is no different than learning a sport or even a video game. You get better each time you do it. So I think that this idea that we're sort of naturally talented and we should be able to sit down and just write a book the first time, I don't think that's true. It certainly wasn't my experience.
Reporting for the Meadowbrook Minute, I'm Guyan.
Thank you so much to Ms. Tarshis for taking the time to come talk to us, and thank you to the amazing Visiting Authors Committee for organizing this for us.
Next up, we have one of my personal favorite segments. Here are Natalia and Ariana with a new Meadowbrook food review.
Welcome to today's segment of Meadowbrook Food Reviews.
Today we will be taste testing Chick-fil-A.
We will be taste testing the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, the Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets, the Chick-fil-A waffle fries,
the Dr. Pepper, the Chick-fil-A lemonade, and the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad. First, we're going to be trying our drinks.
I like mine, but the Dr. Pepper is a little bit watered down, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
I love Chick-fil-A lemonade, so I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
First, we're going to try the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. I really like this. The bun is super soft and a little bit sweet, and the chicken is perfectly seasoned, and the pickle gives it a nice sour crunch. I give this a 10 out of 10.
The chicken is very nice and crispy, so I'm gonna give this a 9.5. Next, we're gonna be trying the Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
3, 2, 1. I really like how it's really salty and it's pretty crispy, but I will say that it's a little bit hard.
I really enjoy the salt. I don't think it's too much salt and I don't think it's too little, but it is a little softer than I would like it, so I'm gonna give it an 8.
I give it a 7 out of 10. Next, we're gonna be trying the Chick-fil-A chicken nugget. The seasoning was really, really good and they were pretty crispy, but I think that they could have done a little bit better with the crispiness. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
It tastes really good, but I do also wish that it was a little bit more crispy. So I'm also gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Next up, we're gonna be trying the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad.
Along with the light Italian dressing and the charred tomato crispy red bell peppers. That was actually a lot better than I expected.
I thought that it was a really nice pairing of like the sourness of the dressing and the really, really well-seasoned chicken.
I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. We've come to our final ranking. In 5th place, we have the Chick-fil-A nuggets. We found that they weren't as crispy as we wanted them to be.
In 4th place, we have the fries. They were nice and salty and really crispy.
In 3rd place, we had our drinks. We thought that they really met our standards and were really quenching.
In 2nd place, we have the salad. We really didn't expect to like this one as much as we did.
And in 1st place, we have the chicken sandwich. We thought that the chicken was nice and crispy and it contrasted well with the ketchup and pickles.
I also really enjoyed the bread and thought that it was nice and sweet.
See you next time, Meadowbrook!
That chicken looks absolutely delicious. You're making me hungry.
Me too. Next month, Camille and I will have our first food review of the year. All I can say is it really puts our taste buds to the test. On Friday, January 9th, all lower school students and their families are invited to a bingo night. Come with a grown-up at 6 p.m. for an evening of bingo, pizza, and fun, exciting prizes for the winners. Families can RSVP through the link in the Meadowbrook messages.
Since returning from Thanksgiving break, our middle schoolers have been practicing their winter sports. On Wednesday, we had the first games of the year. Here's Guyan with the first winter sports report.
Thanks, Camille. Winter sports at Meadowbrook include basketball, squash, fitness, and rock climbing. This week, the season kicked off with the first games. The varsity girls and boys basketball team had dominant victories against Rivers and Lexington Christian. Squash won every match in its game versus Dana Hall, and while the 6th grade boys basketball team lost against Fesden, the JV boys and girls teams each beat Belmonte. Our winter teams will resume gameplay in January. Go Meadowbrook! Now back to Samantha and Camille at the news desk.
Thanks, Guyan. With all of these athletics, it's important to have someone looking out for us. Our amazing Nurse B is always there for us if we have a bruise, a cut, or a headache. But how well does Meadowbrook really know her? Let's find out in this week's 2 Truths and a Lie segment produced by Victoria.
I went to Northeastern University. I have hiked the Grand Canyon, and I have a cat.
I think that Nurse B went to Northeastern. She definitely does not have a cat.
That she has a cat.
I think the lie is that she has a cat.
I don't think she's been to the Grand Canyon.
I don't think she went to Northeastern.
I think the Northeastern is the truth. I think the Grand Canyon is true, and I think the cat's a lie.
I do not have a cat. I have a dog.
Wow, it's really cool that you hiked the Grand Canyon, Nurse B.
That's no joke, but this is. How about a new joke of the minute?
I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not too sure.
Really, Mr. M? Really?
Now, let's finish off the show with Meadowbrook's favorite segment, Guess the Desk.
Welcome back to Guess the Desk, where we show you a teacher's desk and you have to guess whose desk it is. If you guessed Miss T, then you're correct.
Nice desk, Miss T. And